be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt. Hey, so a year ago,
I told you to watch a show.
You told me to watch a show, Invincible. The only thing I knew about it was a superhero comic book written by Robert Kirkman, the guy who did Walking Dead.
He put out Walking Dead and Invincible right about the same time.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Within months.
Okay. Walking Dead, I caught on to, loved it, read them all. I read them. Have you read?
I finished it.
You never finished it? Okay, that's what I thought. I think I finished it from you.
Yeah.
But I read it all, loved it. My wife loves it. She has all the big, super hardback omnibus copies.
I love it too. But my favorite of the two series they put out was Invincible.
Wow. Okay. So here's the thing. Now I'm wondering if my wife would want to read Invincible.
It's possible. Did she watch the cartoon?
No, she didn't. My girls did, and I was so glad my wife wasn't around when my girls were watching Invincible with me. But they call it the superhero show, and Meridian said, "I want to watch superhero show with you, Daddy." I was like, "Let's try something else," because I mean, she'd be
What do you
gone.
think about that finale?
or the end of episode 1, or practically almost anything, all the violence in it. So you would tell me about it, and I say, "Yeah, I need to watch it. I need to watch it." And I don't remember what happened. Oh, I think I was just looking for something to eat. I was like, "Oh, there's Invincible." And the thing is, I would read the comic book beforehand. I'd read the comic book. I'm going to now, especially now. I'm going to read it. But I said, well, let me watch it. And I'll be honest, it's slow, the first episode, except at the end, of course. In fact, if it wasn't for the ending, I was going to stop. Because it was just, it's high school kid, Mark, dad's a superhero. He doesn't have his powers.
Mark Kirkman is playing with all the tropes of superhero comic books.
Yeah, he
gives you what you think it's going.
Yes.
And then he throws the twist.
Yes, because he's a wimp. He gets beat up. He can't get the girl. He's nervous about the girl. The girl notices him, and she feels sorry for him. And everything was just dragging on. And I was thinking, oh, this is not going to be good. And in fact, I had to stop it a couple of times because these shows are like an hour long. I didn't know that. But anyway, so I was not impressed with it. I was like, And then like the last 5 minutes of episode 1, you're like, what? Wait, what? I was like,
that's the whole
whoa.
Thing about the whole series is he's going to lead you along a path where you think you've seen this, and then he's going to stick.
Yeah, and we're going to do spoilers here. So if you've never watched Invincible, first off, let me before I go into spoilers, let me tell you this. It is a violent R-rated comic book. R-rated series, cartoon series.
Yeah.
It's the animated version of The Boys, but a little lighter.
Yeah.
A little lighter than Boys. Not as the situations aren't as dark. It's not as crude. But as a violent goes, it's got the violence in spades. That's where it gets its R rating. Language is there. It's here and there. It's not too heavy. But violence, I mean, we're talking and
violence at the same time, it's like that is so messed up.
It is a little disturbing and messed up, the violence is. I mean, it is some creative violence, let me tell you. It's not just blood flowing on the screen, I'll tell you that. It's entrails and weird, awful...
The subway scene, dude.
Awful, terrible... terrible ways to die. Terrible ways to die. Anyway, that was the season finale, wasn't it? The subway scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Meridian was watching it with me. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to explain this, but she's 2, and God will forgive me someday.
She won't remember.
She won't remember. That's why what age do they start remembering?
Yeah, how these dreams of being drenched in blood, and you'll know where it came from.
Smashing through 50,000 bodies as parts of bone, and she also saw another violent. I can't remember what it was, but it was just such a violent scene. I was like, whoops. Oh yeah, the robot takes the head and crushes the skull, and it's just shattered skull, brain, entrails. I was like, see, honey, he was made of yogurt. But she'd watch it with me. She'd watch this and the superhero show. And the thing is, I'm shocked that it kept my girls. I'm worried that it kept my girls' interest now that I'm thinking about it. I'm shocked that it kept my girls' interest because not much. It's not a lot of action. I mean, when the action's there.
When it comes.
It goes. I mean, we're talking Cell Block 99, Vince Vaughn stuff, violence. But there's a lot of just talking, plotting, pacing. And usually she'd walk away. but they stayed glued to the 2 because they wanted to see,
And comic books
people.
like that. You'll get
People are
issues
made of raspberry sherbet, and I want to see the raspberry sherbet come out of them.
I mean, with comic book, you'll get issues where it's just hanging
Yeah,
out, living
but
life, and then you're going to get
but
issues that are nothing but war and battle, and the thing is, you haven't even gotten to the big stuff yet.
exactly.
I mean, this is all planet side. I mean,
Yeah, but before we get to spoilers, I will say this: that the first episode, just trudge through it until the last 5 minutes, then you'll understand why you need to watch it, because it does feel boring, generic. We've seen this before. Oh, he's going to get his powers. Oh, he's going to go back and stand up to the book, Superman 2 style, and all this stuff, all the trade. He's going to get the girl. And yes, that does happen, but way differently than, way more unique, I would say, than what
Yeah.
we've seen before. And when they were calling the rip-off Justice League, which was really funny, the fish sitting there and going, oh, God, thank you. Because he has nothing to do in the ocean. That was great. But then those first 5 minutes, you're like, what? What? 'Cause I've held myself from spoilers, I guess. 'Cause I never knew about this. I knew there was some secret with the dad. I knew that was all I knew. And that they did it. And my brother told me this was issue 6. So they did it really early. And that's because they asked, the publisher said, no, you can't keep this.
Well, this was a rough time in comic books. I mean, books were being canceled left and right, and they were saying, he was.
If you don't do this, it'll get canceled.
20 issues before doing the reveal. And they were just like, you're not gonna have a book in 20 issues if you don't. Give people something.
But the thing is that I was shocked because I didn't know. I just knew there was a secret that they revealed. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. I said, why wouldn't you have kept that a secret from the audience and had us all figure it out, later? But as I was watching it, it's interesting because it's a different. The audience knows, and now we're waiting to see how the characters will figure it out, and that hasn't been done in a while. I can't remember when that's been done. It's been a while. I mean, there's obviously things like Dexter. We know he's the serial killer, and we're waiting to see what happened to the characters. But I'm talking like a big reveal, during the show. That's a unique point of view that you get. Now, we didn't get to see it through Omni-Man. Omni-Man. We didn't get to see the show through Omni-Man's eyes, but it was an interesting way to deal with something, a secret that we know, the audience knows. We're not which would have been cool if it was a secret too, because it would have been a big twist, a big reveal. I mean, there's so many layers they could have put under this. Like, it is. No, it's not. Wait, it is. But here's the reason. But that's a bad reason. But this is it. This is a good reason or whatever. You could have done many twists off of that. But how they handled it, and I know I hear that's why they had to up it up. It was fine. It was refreshing and a different take on things. So before I get into spoilers here, I will say this: Invincible is worth watching. But you were just saying this, and now I want you to explain it to me. Season 1 came out over a year ago, last Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. Why has there been a delay?
I think it's just building the animation. It took them. It was like 2 years.
I will say this:
the
animation is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like anime.
Yeah, it was really good.
Style. I mean, it's really good. That's one thing that kept me in there. I was like, wow, this is really fine.
From when they first announced it to when it came out, I had completely forgotten that it was coming. And all of a sudden there were episodes out. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is the show I completely wanted to see and completely forgot about because it took forever. Now they greenlit season 2 and 3, so they're working on those, cranking them out.
So
I guess it's just
extra
the
time.
quality of the work. They're just
it's really. So, do they have a release date for season 2?
I've not been able to find a release date.
Okay.
All I know is it's coming, and Amazon was super happy with it, and
they should be. They should be. It's really good. How did it perform? Did it get buzz?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm just late to the party then. Okay. Well, anyone else who hasn't heard about this or read, you got to. You'll know most of the voices. They got some pretty big names.
J. Jonah Jameson is Omni-Man.
Yeah, but I knew that from the very beginning. You could
Invincible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tons of Walking Dead people. Obviously. I knew Aaron and Ezekiel. I knew them immediately when their voice hit. But and I'm getting better at voices, I guess, because who was the other one? Oh, I guess Seth Rogen too. I said that sounds like Seth Rogen. Would it be Seth Rogen? Because he's not I mean, he is a funny character, but he's not the joking. He's not the character you think he'd be.
He's a good character in the comic series as it goes.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's a great character. But so the voice acting is there.
Yeah.
The voice acting is there. So yeah, for that reason, you should definitely see it. And the animation is definitely there. And after you're going to have to trudge through 40, 45 minutes, 47 minutes of garbage.
It's
or
not garbage.
I was bored.
You think it's...
I was bored. I seriously stopped at 30 minutes and thought, I'm not going to finish this because I just wasn't interested.
You've seen it before.
Yeah, but I decided what the next lunch break. I said, okay, let me watch a little bit more. And I was thinking, oh, okay, the ending was pretty good because I almost stopped it. I think I did stop it right before the ending. I stopped it right before when they all met up. I was like, well, let me stop it here. And I was like, oh man, 5 minutes left or whatever. I was like, well, I'll watch it afterwards. And I did. I was like, oh, no, that was pretty good. Oh, okay, I will watch because I was going to tell you, yeah, I watched the first episode, wasn't interested. And but I kept watching it. So it is worth watching. So there's my suggestion on that. Now, bye. Spoilers. But we're going to spoil the whole TV show for you, by the way. We have to because it happens in season 1. So here we go. Spoiler time. The Justice League or whatever it is. Same Justice. A Wonder Woman ripoff. Warrior Woman. Aquafish. Speed. Red Racer. Who's the Flash. I mean, and then who's their Batman called? Nightwing? No. Darkwing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, but Darkwing Duck? I mean, anyway. But anyway, all of them get called in. Oh, the Martian. Just the Martian, who looks just like the Martian Manhunter. That was kind of...
A little close.
Well, they did the long head and everything, and that he can, turn into different shapes. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can do that. But, and then, the Green Crystal was the Green Lantern, obviously. So they assemble everyone together, and they don't know who called them here because they thought everyone else called them there. And it was Omni-Man who called them there to kill them all. And there is a brutal beat down battle. He takes the fish and he just basically rips the top half of his head off and then throws his entrails I was like, whoa, there's some wild stuff. But
this is not the wholesome show I was just watching for the last 45 minutes.
Takes and crushes someone's skull, but the bits of his skull are still around. Like it's not a broken, it's just a fractured skull with bits of skull sticking out and blood and guts and brain and eyeballs. You're like, hello. I want to see if the animator who drew that scene had nightmares for a week. So, honey, what'd you work on today? Nothing. Now, please, let me go into the shower, cry in a corner, and suck my thumb like Ace Ventura. Okay? Because that's some horrifying stuff. That's some nightmare fuel there. But it's really good. It's really good because you're thinking, what just happened? Why did he kill everyone? Is he evil? What is going on? And then it's a secret that everyone knows. But the fans know, the audience knows that Omnicron killed the Omni-Man. And what is their name again? Guardians. The Guardians, right? This is what they call it. The Guardians.
Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians of the Globe. That's what it is. Guardians of the Globe. He killed the Guardians of the Globe. All right. So why? Why did he kill off the Justice League in a way? And why doesn't have any remorse about it? And some people suspect it's him, and it's a big, that's the big hook.
Hellboy guy investigating it.
Oh man, yeah. So, and by the way, that was one I did not know who voiced that, and when I saw it, I was like, duh, it's Kurgan.
Yeah.
And it sounds just like him too. But what Demon Detective was his name?
Yeah.
It's great. That's a great character. No, it gets cold because it's funny because when they're talking in the next episode, when the SHIELD agents or whatever are there cleaning up, the government agents are cleaning out the Guardians of the Globe and taking away Omni-Man. He looks like Craven from Gen 13. He reminds me of Craven from Gen 13, the white-haired balding guy, voiced by Cecil Shane from the FX show.
But I love Cecil in the series.
When they start,
but also Cecil in the comic books doesn't appear until after what would be the finale of the show. They brought him in early, because they just make things run smoother.
Okay.
Edit, different.
Really? So he comes in after the second in command dies, I'm guessing.
Well, no, I mean he was in the background of the series. It's just you don't see him.
Okay.
And he doesn't make it brief.
So they introduced him a little bit early.
Yeah. Which is fine because I thought they did.
But anyway, as they're talking during the scene, I start seeing their breath. And I'm going, wait, what is going on? Because they don't act like anything's wrong. They just start talking. They're talking to each other, and you can see their breath as they're talking. And I was like, they weren't doing that earlier. And I didn't understand what was going on. And then what's his face? Cecil sees his breath and goes, shit, come on out, And supposedly when the demon detective is around, it gets really cold. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about how ghosts and it's really cold in this room, but not in the other rooms. There must be ghosts in here. Okay, so the demon detective's there. Great character. He's solving crime to get his time, cut his time down in hell. It's great. Oh, and when they have to banish, Omni-Man sets him up. It's an obvious setup. They know it, but to make Omni-Man feel he's safe, they banish.
Yeah, because the thing is, Cecil figured out what's going on.
Yeah,
at the same time, he's like, I don't want Omni-Man to know that I know because I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
we can't really stop it.
We need a game plan still. So to get that, make him feel more comfortable, we'll go ahead and bust Demon Detective and act like we fell for his stupid ruse. And Demon Detective's like, it's not me. Planted it was, Or how does he talk? He talks in fragmented sentences, which is great. And they send the Pentagon, send him to hell, do the incantation. And then he goes, sir, is he going to be all right? He's not dead. He's just in hell. And then he walks away and the guy goes, but isn't that worse? I love it. There is humor. There's a lot of humor in this one. Invincible grows on you after a while. I mean, that he can't stick a landing is hilarious. He's always stumbling or making craters in the ground at first. His dad training him is good. And the whole time you're thinking, what's your evil plan, Omni-Man? The other team,
the Teen Team or
Teen Titans version, who get promoted basically.
They become the Guardians of the Globe.
They become the Guardians of the Globe. I knew Ralphie from the League immediately when I heard his voice. I was like, no way did they get him. And I checked. I was like, it is him. But Boomer, is that his name? Who's the guy with the boomstick that makes things explode?
It's Rexplode.
That even better name. Excuse me, Rexplode. Rexplode is fantastic. That when Monster Girl heals and they go to celebrate, she went, "Are you serious?" Like he brings up that carton of milk. He went, "No, I filled these with liquor." And she goes, "You did that for me?" He said, "Yeah." And then he said, "Yes." He poured every carton of milk out into a sink. It was the most wasteful thing. It was the most waste of time I've ever seen in a human being. And then the leader goes, if you were half as diligent in your training as you were filling these cartons with liquor, you'd have made it great. I just thought that was hilarious. There's other characters. Adam Eve, who's in the show. And she's like Firestar or something, or
she can control.
She matter
molecules.
Yeah, molecules. She's very powerful. I do like the love triangle for a little while. That kind of, they put cold water on very quickly between her, Invincible, and the
girlfriend.
The girlfriend. It's funny because I was like, oh, okay, this is that, but they didn't really go, past that. After she found out, she kind of just laid off, I guess, for a little bit. I like how every time they're about to say his name, that's when the credits go.
Yeah. Also, if you notice the credits, they get bloodier as the series goes on.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's great too. But I love how there was one episode where we were 40 minutes. It was almost over. And they finally say and it goes to Invincible, it goes to the credits. I was like, shut up. Because I thought they were just going to skip it. Because usually in the first 10 minutes or so, they're going to name it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they're going to say his name, and that's where the credits roll. This one went honestly, it went over 40 minutes. And then they did the credits. I was like, that opening credits, I was like, that is great. That is so, because they're, it's like, how do we fit his name in at the beginning? Well, let's not. Let's fit it in later. The Mark Hamill you can hear, pretty simple, as the costume maker, which is good. In fact, the scene where Omni-Man knows that the costume maker knows that he's the killer. That scene is really good,
I think
where they're just drinking beer because you can see where and this is
the thing I like with Omni-Man's character is there's real friendship,
yes,
and it
well, at least you think,
Yeah.
because you thought there was real love. He loves his wife. He wants to do things with his wife, but then at the end,
thing is, there's so much I want to talk about. We can't because I've read the comic books.
okay, yeah,
It
well,
gets
you
better.
can't
All
talk
I'm
about
saying is
yeah.
it gets better.
I do want to read the comic book, and we'll probably do reviews of the comic book when I finish it. But he tells Mark, his son, that no, I love her like a pet.
Yeah, like I do love your mom.
Ooh, and then everything you're thinking about is like, yeah, you can kind of see that now. He expects her to obey. You trust me? Okay. Do you trust me? That's all I care about. You try? Okay, good pet. Now here, let's go get you some stuff. Okay, I like you. You're fun to be
But
around.
the whole thing is, so he's going to live thousands and
Of
thousands and
years.
thousands of years. This is a short time. It's just like
When there's so many good scenes in this, but I'm skipping around here. We'll do the bus scene. Oh
wait till
no,
the finale.
when he's about to save that girl from the building, hold on to my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Then the whole building collapses, and you think he's shielded them, right? The
Nope,
mother and the
he's just
daughter.
holding the hand.
No, he's just holding a severed hand. No, not just a severed hand. We're talking like an arm with the bone and the meat dripping off of it. And it's like,
His
hello.
dad's teaching him that he can't do everything.
And I'm just telling my girl, like,
Are these people worth saving?
I just told my little girls, went, she's okay. Daddy, she fall, hurt herself? Yeah, but she's okay.
She doesn't feel it anymore.
He gave her a hand. Or an arm. But that whole thing is just brutal. He's telling, why do you care about these people and everything? And the train. He holds his son up to an oncoming subway train and just smashes through everybody on the train as the train's wrecking.
Basically, just using his son to kill all these people.
Yeah, and he's just ramming his son through all these people, and blood and bone and eyeballs and gunk and brain is all over him, and he is covered in grotesqueness. I mean, you're talking about blood.
Just that whole final battle with Invincible and his dad
is amazing.
It's amazing. The thing is, Invincible does zero in that fight. He wins the fight. But my goodness,
I like when the Immortal comes back too. That's great. The Immortal. Who is the Immortal supposed to be?
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, really?
He is Abraham Lincoln. You didn't get that?
No, not in the cartoon.
The moral goes back to.
That's hilarious. That's why he has the beard.
Yeah, but he goes back to caveman days. He's been living forever. Yeah.
Shut up. Okay, well they do some flashbacks with him at the last. That's the last episode, right? When they're Immortal. No, that's second to the last. Second to last.
Shows up and gets killed
because he gets killed again. The Immortal gets killed for the second time. But oh man, the opening of the last episode where it's raining blood. And then it's the bottom half and then the top half of Immortal. But it's raining blood at first because the blood comes down first. And that Immortal is hearing his dad talk, but it sounds like it's in a wooden box because he can't hear anything because he's dumbstricken by the fact that his dad just killed a superhero. And at first he thinks his dad's being controlled by an alien species. That's good stuff because he just can't believe his dad would be evil. The alien that comes to visit is great because he comes to the wrong. He's supposed to go to Earth with a URTH. Went, no, we're Earth. This is Earth. Oh, oh man. Oh, I'm gonna get in so. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like he's supposed to test this guy out, and then he goes to see him again later on at the end, which is really good. That character is really funny. But I can imagine in the comic book they make these characters more. They flesh them out a lot more. I'm sure
because a lot of these characters are going to stay with the series.
How besides the slight change of Cecil, how on point is the comic book and the cartoon?
Some of the stories are rearranged.
Okay,
different times. I mean, like the story when he goes to visit school campus. That's like way later.
Like if I had someone say, should I watch or should I read Walking Dead? I would say read Walking Dead all day long, especially after the last 4 or 5 seasons. But even when, let's say before Negan, back when the series was really good, if you'd have asked me, I said, well, they're both good, but I would go with the comic book. That's what I would have told people.
And the thing is,
what would you say with Invincible?
It just depends on if you like the TV reveal of the secrets or like to read it. I read the.
Is there a character who's not in there yet? I mean, that was in the comic book at this point that
No,
we
they
haven't
didn't
seen.
really skip over
Oh,
anything.
yeah, they didn't skip over anyway.
Yeah.
Monster Girl's really funny.
Yeah.
She turns into a monster, but whenever
every time
she
uses
does,
power, she gets younger.
she gets younger the longer she's in that body. And so she was a 24-year-old.
But she looks like she's
12 now. And she's getting pissed off because she was monster for a whole week or what. She lost a week. She's a week younger now and stuff. That's kind of neat. I don't know how that goes. Robot's really good.
Robot is also, again, just the way they use him throughout the series to the end. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's got his own little creepy little story plot. That is a little creepy now that I think about it.
The thing is, Robot is a little creepy and a little weird, but
at the end.
Yeah, but when he shows up and Rex explode, it's like,
what the fuck? That is so funny. Why are you me? That is so creepy. Does anyone else think this is creepy? And it's only Rex Explode. Rex Explode is just a phenomenal character.
But I would say difference. In the comic book, I didn't like him. I like him on the show. In the comic book,
really?
He's like
a jerk.
He cheated on Eve. And, all this stuff, and you don't like him because he's that guy.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
The TV show, I don't know if it's just the voice actor, the way he portrayed him, or what, but he made him so much more fun.
I tell you what, he is. But replacing all the milk cartons with liquor, and them describing all the milk that he wasted doing it, the time he wasted doing it, just had me chuck. That was probably one of the funniest moments. There's a lot of good moments in there when they're on campus. That episode, was really good. Where his best friend finds out who he is and everything. How each episode builds upon itself. Of course, they hire that college kid. They don't like that college kid, but they hire him to build the evil robots that can help stop Omni-Man. The big beast he beat at the beginning of one episode. I think we even see it. We only see it defeated, right?
No,
did he fight it in guy? The big squid face thing?
Oh, okay.
We only see it defeated, right? Yeah. And then they say, "Keep it. We may need it for later." Of course, they're the secret government. They're not going to throw anything away. And then he comes back. I'm just saying these.
Yeah, we skipped over the story with the crime boss and bad crime boss.
Oh, that was another good one. Yeah. That was another good. There's what was it? Metalhead.
Yeah,
is his name? He's like the kingpin or whatever. Machine head. And there's the down in his luck, guy with a poor family. He's poor. He just can turn into a rock. We saw him in episode 2, I think, and he kind of gets Invincible's help. Well, his dad's like, "Don't do it. This guy's just using you. He's just using you." Omni-Man, you can see right through that, son. You're just naive. And you're thinking, wow, Omni-Man doesn't care. And his wife says he doesn't. He should do the right thing. So he decides to help this guy. It turns out things go really bad, really bad. And they get the mess beat out of them. And I thought they had killed off some characters at that point. You knew Invincible was going to be okay in the end. That was the first time he got really badly hit. And didn't Omni-Man look at this over from far distance? So he was there. He didn't intercede.
I think he was going to intercede if it got too out of control.
But it didn't.
Risk his son.
Yeah, he wasn't going to risk his son.
Learn a lesson too.
Yeah, he was going to learn a lesson, teach his son a lesson. But I did.
That Battle Beast, the big lion-headed guad guy.
Yeah,
he will become more important in the series.
Oh, okay.
In the comic books, it was kind of weird. It had this one issue where it has this fight. And he doesn't come back for a long time, but when it happens, it's like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. But it's a beat down, and they all get beat up. But Machine Head does get destroyed, captured. He gets taken down.
Yeah.
His chip is taken out and everything. And then, sure enough, Omni-Man was right. He was being used because the concrete guy is now the new boss. He's the new kingpin and everything. And that was the plan all along, was to kick off the boss so he could be boss. And it was kind of neat because just like Omni-Man said, you're getting set up, kid. You shouldn't help this guy. He's just using you. I thought it was great. And it's good because Mark, Invincible, is naive. But I should go back. The costumer, I said, I like the costumer. Mm-hmm. I like that he's drinking at the end because he has that picture of him and Omni-Man catching fish. But even when Omni-Man knew it was him, he just has a 6-pack with him, and they talk about, the good old days. And the thing is, it made you feel like there was a long-term relationship with them.
Yeah.
He's like, and what'd you do? You dressed the bastard up in plaid. Never piss off your costumer, Taylor. I can't believe you wore it too. He's like, I know. He wanted the new thing, but he was such an asshole. I was like, wow, it feels like it's real people having a real conversation, and he's really sad. He lost a friend, and that the picture goes into the wastepaper basket at the end because he knows that Omni-Man isn't his friend, even though it feels real. The friendship feels real. And by the way, no words are expressing this. There's no words. You get this because of a scene where he's drinking, looking at a picture of him and Omni-Man on a fishing trip, and he throws it in the wastepaper basket and drinks some more, and that's it. That's the scene. But the thing is, though, he knows that friendship is not real, and he just experienced friendship because I think, the episode earlier he had the beers with him. So it's a really good series. I'm excited for season 2 when it comes out in 2027.
Hopefully.
All right. That's it for now, folks.
Talk about the finale, dude.
Oh, what's about the finale? Go ahead.
Well, okay. Really, the best part of the whole movie is when he defeats his father.
Well, yeah.
When he's
he doesn't defeat his father.
You got the meme where he's pointing at his head. It's just like, in 500 years, when everyone is gone, what will you have?
Yeah.
I'd have you, Dad. And then breaks his dad.
That's great. Yeah.
The dad just collapses. Flies off.
The dad
shedding a tear.
Well, he flashes back to Mark being in a baseball game and him thinking it's a waste of his time because he could be saving the world right now.
And the mom says, "Oh, look right there."
But the mom teaches a great lesson about humanity, and it's kind of hitting him. So that's good. I'd like to see where that goes too.
It's fantastic. I mean,
that's a fantastic because he could have killed his son. He was prepared to kill his son right then and there.
Because he could make another one.
But what a great tough stuff. But he flies away, not to be seen right now, at least for over a year. And that was good too. No, there's a lot of good stuff. Any other things?
No, I gotta wrap it. My wife's calling.
All right, that's why I was wrapping it for you. Okay, but anyway, all right, folks, we'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.